Okay, let's go. Shnayim and BeTalis. One of the most famous Masechtas in Shas, what we used to learn. A lot of people, I saw slides of like anyone who wants to learn Bava Metzia. I've been learning with my kid. I don't know Gemara, so it's always good to chaz Bava Metzia. You know, when you're aiming for with Yishai, you know. Shnayim and BeTalis. Two people holding on to this talis. So they're both claiming that they found it. It was lying in the street. And the question is, who got there first? Who found it first? Happens all the time. I saw it first, I got it. It looks like there's a second case here. Each one says the whole thing is mine. A different case, they didn't find it. The two people look at the basin and say, this talis is all mine, and the other guy says, it's all mine. So, the Mishnah says, each person takes a shvuah that he doesn't own less than half. It's a strange lashon, and one will explain why he doesn't just take a shvuah that. Just swear you own the whole thing, swear you own half. He swears he doesn't own less than half. It's a strange lashon. And the Gemara, the din is v'yachleiku. So we're going to see that there's like a few different dinim that happen when a guy shows up in Beis Din, arguing with someone else over an object, an item, shtar. There's all sorts of different cases. So yachleiku is the first thing that happens a lot. Yachleiku. Sometimes yachleiku with shvuah. You've got to take a shvuah. We're going to see in places that the Gemara sometimes says kol dalim govar. Whoever stronger wins. So machlokes, it means they fight it out in Beis Din, fight it out really. But the idea is that the Rosh says that the person whose chayfetz really belongs to, he's going to fight harder. Because the other guy's not going to bother fighting, knowing that tomorrow you're going to bring a raya, he'll bring Adim. So the guy who's a liar, he'll give up. He takes, he's giving he's doing half an effort. But the guy who's really is, he's going to give everything he has. He doesn't want to lose out. Moral justice. Sometimes the Gemara passes on what's the raya. The idea is that whoever's trying to take something from someone else, he has to prove that it's his. What's the basis of this? You're muhsuk. If I'm holding on to something, kol ma shetachas yadodam hari yushalai. The Gemara says the idea is anything you're holding on to, if I see you with a pair of glasses, I would assume it's yours. Why? Why should I assume it's your glasses? Because we don't assume you're a gun. We don't assume you walk around grabbing people's glasses. So therefore, when you're wearing a pair of glasses, we're going to assume that it's yours. You didn't just steal it from someone. So therefore, you're called a muhsuk. I don't know what the word for muhsuk is in English. I don't know if there is a good word for it.
Possession is 9 tenths.
So in this case, it's 10 tenths of the law. It's the law. Muhsuk means it's yours. Unless someone brings the Eidim that they saw you steal it from me, and you are the ganef, they'll say it's yours. And it's very powerful. Even if the guy has a migu, the guy has a, he can prove, he can say that, listen, the reason why I grabbed it was because I could have claimed I didn't grab it. I might have grabbed it. There's a case in the world where someone grabbed something, but he's might have he grabbed it. He didn't have to be might have. He says, you're right, it's true I grabbed it from him. I could have said it was always by me. So we'll say, no, once you grab something, then it's already we no longer give you the chazaka. Sometimes the Gemara says a fifth option, sometimes the Gemara says, that's if we don't know what the din is. The Gemara says, put it aside, when Mashiach comes, we'll give it to the right guy. So the question is why sometimes you say this, sometimes you say that, and there's another psak, which the Mishnah sometimes paskins, draw the mumayna. Should the dayi. So the dayanim come and they make an evaluation. They just give it to the guy where they want it to really. They just say, oh, we like this guy better, we'll give it to him. Even though he doesn't have the times. So we're going to have to see why sometimes you say yachleiku, sometimes call it gova, sometimes ying munach. What's going on over there? Okay. Back in the Mishnah, fifth line in. Another case. One person says it's my entire talis, the other person says it's half mine. And what does that mean? How could that be? What's the case? We're talking about a case where they both found it. So one guy says, I got there first. It's all mine. The other guy says, no, we got there exactly the same time. So it's 50-50. So what's going to be the din in that case? Ze Yeshova. 1 second, hold on. I just made it up. The guy who says it's entirely mine, he swears that he doesn't own less than 3/4. Why does he lose out?
He's being punished for telling the truth.
Right, exactly.
Maybe he knows about the Migos.
So he's playing a game.
Yeah.
He's saying half because then he knows he can see the Migos.
So the thing the Gemara says that Legabe the Shul. The Gemara wants to say, believing with the Migos, you shouldn't have to take a Shvuah. The Gemara says enough Gimel. Believe him with the Migos, you shouldn't take a Shvuah. The Gemara says no, because he's playing a game. Like you said, he just wants to get out of the Shul. So he says it's Taina, any Garlic will just grab, say, it's half mine. So that way he doesn't have to take a Shvuah. And any Garlic can walk over to you, grab something, and say, Migu, I could have said this, now I have to take a Shvuah. He walks home with half a chayv, it's better than nothing, right? So, or he goes with a quarter of a chayv, it's better than nothing. So therefore the guy has to make a Shvuah regardless. I love Metzia. You see how like Chaim went into every gun of head, and he understood how every gun of things. It's always beautiful. Like here you are thinking like these tzaddikim Freeman didn't understand what's going through a gun of said, they knew exactly. Well, okay. Let's take a look in Rashi. Oh, we'll finish the Mishnah first, actually. Now we're going to have to see in the Gemara why you need these different cases. They pick up a chaypet, riding on a behema. Two people are riding on a behema. One's riding the behema, one's pulling the behema, one's being maniged, and they're both forms of kidney. You could be kaina a behema. You can acquire a behema by pulling it or by sitting on it. So each one takes a shvuah. He doesn't own less than half. The same thing as the previous case. And they split it down the middle. If they both agree, it's interesting. What's the chiddush here? What's the chiddush over here? If they both agree that it's half yours, half mine, you split it. No shvuah. Have a nice day. Okay, let's see Rashi. Back top of the page. Shnayim works in BeTalis. Dafka Ochzin is talking about where they're holding on to the talis. The Shnayim uchzokim, they both got a grip on it. They both have a chazaka. Neither of them have more of a koyach than the other person. Neither of them has more of a tfisa. In other words, what Rashi is coming to say is if one guy's holding on to the talis, the other guy's just holding on to the string. As Gemara later on says, like the fringes, that's not called yumuchskim talis. You both got to be holding on to the talis. Not just, you're holding on to a little piece of bud in the corner. If one person is holding on to the talis, and the other guy comes in the base says it's mine, what will the basin say? You're trying to take something from someone else. You have to bring a raya. What does a raya mean? Be'edim. Bring edim that he stole it from you. Otherwise, keep quiet. Like we said before, there's a chazak. Someone's holding on to the talis. You can't just say it's my talis. Prove it. And this shvuah won't help you. In our Mishnah, we said he takes a shvuah. So it's a little bit Meduik and Rashi. Why in the Mishnah does he say a shvuah? What's the purpose of the shvuah? Is the shvuah little? You're taking a shvuah to take your half, or you're taking shvuah to pater you from your half. He shouldn't take your half. What's the shvuah for? What's the purpose? Is it little or lahaitzi? I'm trying to speak about what the shvuah is. Is a shvuah little? You want to take my half of talis. I'm taking a shvuah that's my talis, so you can't get it. Or I'm taking a shvuah that
I want to take my half.
Yeah, to get my half from you.
The second half.
No, the first half. The half that I'm getting. Why am I making a shvuah? To get my half. Otherwise, I won't get my half.
Come around.
One is the keep, one is the
Maybe
pay.
that's the
How about I mean? Yeah, but why is it Mishva?
That what?
The Shvuah. Now each
I
of
wanna
them
keep
swear.
it.
Why you swear?
I'm taking
One
it
is
from
to
you.
keep it by
So
me.
the shvuah is to make sure
One
that
is
I can get it
the
from
other
you.
one. What the other side will be? One is the keep. One second. One is the keep, and what's the other side?
Both of them is that I end up with half a talis. The question is what's going on in the vein? Why am I keeping half a talis? You're saying the whole talis is mine. I'm saying I swear half is mine. You're not getting this. So I'm swearing to keep you away from it.
you swearing to be Metzia from the other guy? Or are you swearing to
Because
prove that
who's muchzik? How do you look at it? We're both holding on to the talis. Are we both muchzik on the whole talis? Are we both muchzik on half the talis? Or neither of us are muchzik on anything because our chazaka counts each other out?
Right.
We're going to see all three opinions are in the Rishonim. What did the chazaka do here? Each one has chazaka on half the physical talis. This half is yours, this half is mine. Or we both have the chazaka on the whole talis.
And according to that, the shvur will be on whatever it is.
Right. Or we both trying to get the whole thing, so therefore neither of us have chazaka on anything. And we're both coming to base and neither of us have a good chazaka.
Nice.
It's much more they grabbed it at the same second.
They grabbed it at the same second, 100%. Oh, they're claiming. One's claiming, they're both claiming I got there first. They're both claiming I grabbed it first.
what's enough?
But they're both holding on to the talis now. When we see two people holding on to the talis, how do we look at it? Do we say that you're holding this half and he's holding this half? I'm a muhsuk on this half, you're a muhsuk on that half? Or do we say that we're both holding on to the whole talis, and therefore we both have a chazak on both of it?
Then you have to do some kind of transaction to split it up, because it's not half.
I'm saying if you're muksak,
Exactly.
if you're muksak on both, on half, then why do you need it even a shul?
Why didn't you show if you both
Kind of like called the
You're
Alam
muksak
Var.
on half, and he's muksak on half, then it's a muksak under a raya. I'm not claiming the other half.
Right, so that's why he says it's a shvua lito. You have to take a shvua that you get your half from him.
They're both claiming it's all theirs.
They're both claiming it's all theirs, right?
It's kind of like called the Alam
Without-
Var. It's to show if you're really serious. If you just start making up, you're trying your luck.
I mean, guy could
grab
just-
someone else's talis, you're not going to make a sure.
No, you need a.
But you're going to make a sure if you know it's yours. Then it's like a way to prove.
Right,
that it's
the
really
Gemara does throw this svar around that we make them take a shvua. Shalei kolecha bava tevis but talis shechavera. You know, people just running around grabbing talisim from people and saying it's theirs, and they're like, I got half that. So you take a shvua because for some reason many people are this is what Metzia. Many people have no problem stealing, but they're pretty scared of shvuas. Why? It could be because the Gemara says the kol ha'olam is dazer from someone who makes a shvua shav. I don't know. But people, they have no Yiras Shema. Comes to a gneva, but come to shvua, they're scared. They're like, I'm not going to get into the business of shvuas. Okay? Let's see Rashi. Zayma kol ha'shali. The Gemara refers to my Tanatati. Why does the Mishnah have both cases? This one says I found it, the other one says I found it. Oh, this one says it's all mine, this one says it's all mine. It seems like it's the same case. What's the difference between the two cases? The Gemara is going to say on Daf Gimel, why do you make this shvur? What do you do? What's the purpose of this shvur? The Gemara is going to explain why you dafka uses lashon if I don't have less than half. I think the Gemara is going to say that we don't want the guy making a shvur sheker. Basically, can't make you take a shvur sheker. If each guy says sure that I own the whole thing, so one of them is sure lying. We made one of them be over what the worst is in the Torah. Basically, can't be done. Go ahead and say, take a shvur, you take a shvur, it's all yours. You take a shvur, it's all yours. Because we know we just marshal one of them in terrible issa. So what can they do? The only thing they're left with, they want to make sure each one has a half. So the Gemara says, why didn't you make each one take a shvur they have half? Because he doesn't have half, he says he owns the whole thing. So it's also sheker.
No, but half is included in.
No. But it sounds, you're right, he does own half. But it says the Lashon I think the Gemara is there. It's not. It looks like a little bit bad. It looks like you only have half. No, I think that's what the Gemara says. I haven't seen it for a while. I think that's the Gemara. It looks dodgy. So then you say you're sure that you don't have less than half. Also, you're coming in with a timer. You're timing, it's got the basis. I own the whole thing. I swear I only have half. So someone's standing on the side, there's not a Talmud Chacham, is like, what's going on here? He says he has the whole thing, and then he comes in and takes a shvur, he only has half. What did Basin do? So he takes a shvur, he doesn't have less than half. Everyone that's watching can understand. I think that's Gemara. Everyone watching can understand. They're like, that's what's happening over here. He doesn't want to look like, it doesn't look dodgy. What's it, when he says I only have half, right? What's his final? What's he claiming? How's it his? How's it half his? I admit that half is this guy's. Not that it doesn't belong to, I don't know who it belongs to. It's his. The whole din Torah is on half the talis. So half the talis we're going to give to Reuben. There's no court case about that. The half that they're fighting over, that we're going to do a chalukah. That's why he gets 3/4. You get half without a din Torah b'chlal, and the other quarter to make up the 3/4. On that there's a din Torah.
Is that inherently there has to be a pshara, or is that din? Like it seems like it's a pshara.
It doesn't say
like
it's not a
we're
pshara.
going for a pshara.
It's not a pshara.
It's not a pshara saying they actually own half each because they both. So it doesn't make sense how one guy can own the whole. How one can own more? If they grabbed it at the same like.
So we're going to see. I think first of all, the question is we're going to see that one of the big klanim of Tosfos, at least in the Gemara, is that we only do yachleiku when it's yichad esemes. Has to be. It could be true. That's a klal. We're basically not going to say cholkin if it can't be true, because it looks like what the basically just do. They gave a guy 3. Let's say 2 people find a star, and this guy says, "This is my star." This is my star. You split it. It can't be both of yours. It's one person's star. One guy on the star. So they're not going to say yachleiku if it can't. If it looks like Basin's doing stupid things here, Basin's going to protect its. That's what Gemara does. Basin has to protect its reputation. They're not going to do something can't be true. So how could it be true? It's if I remember correctly,
It's all based on that.
it's based on Levi's kasha. I think. How could it be? How could you choli esemes over here or Chaim's kasha? How could it be emes here? 3/4 and a quarter as a shaykh. I think we all the answers they got. Anyone has a good theory? Anyone has any options?
It wasn't necessarily a single thing. Maybe it was a basket of apples. And there were 4 apples in there. And one guy said, "All 4 are mine." And one guy
But they
said,
found it.
Why the chalukah
They found it because
one guy's holding 3/4.
This is what happened. I hear what you're saying. Beautiful. That's what they answer. No, the kasha is like this. They walk at the basin. I say I picked up the whole thing first. You weren't there. You showed up afterwards and you said, I also want after that. Whatever. And you say, no, we came at the same time, we picked it up at the same time. So in which world could it be that you get 3/4 and I get a quarter?
That's not the word.
There's no option.
They're not arguing.
Either it's all his or it's half his. It can't be 3/4 and a quarter. But also by Metzia this is true. The Gemara doesn't say this is a joint.
I have to say, I bought the whole thing. I wasn't happy.
100%. By Mechamim you can say, but by Metzia has a shaykh.
That's what it says. Ratios safe as one.
Okay, so in the half a minute of the Gemara, how could you ever have such a thing? But what the Chaim say is that what you could say is like what Yitzhak is saying. He's saying beautiful that the guy that says Chetz Shali, it could be MS. In other words, wherever you grab, that's what part of the talis you want. So it could be he grabbed 3/4 of the talis and he grabbed a quarter of the talis at the same time. So it's Yichol SMS. That's what they want to say.
What is it he just thought? One guy grabbed half the talis and he thought, I'm grabbing the whole talis. And the other guy grabbed half and he thought, okay, I'm only grabbing half. He only had this mind and he's grabbing half.
But that doesn't help you. What doesn't help you? You actually have to grab. You have to grab the talis. You have to.
He grabbed it, but he's grabbed it thinking I'm only taking a half.
Okay. Shnayim Reichen, Rashi, let's finish Rashi before you go to Tosfos. Lashmin and Achas Dorach B'Manik Shnayim Shav V'Nikas Behemah V'Nehafka. It's come to teach you that when one person is riding the horse and one person is pulling the horse, they're both equal. Shovin Likas Behemah V'Nehafka. When you have this Behemah V'Nehafka, they're both equal to B'Kaineh. Whether you're pulling it by the reins or whether you're riding it, they're both valid kinyan. There's much of Maidim. When they agree, you achloik with Hashmul. The more Mufresh, Hashmin and Dad, Magbiyah Metzia Chaver, Kana Chaver. The Chiddush here of the Seif of the Mishnah is that if someone else comes and says, it's mine, it's too late. Even you might think when 2 people come to grab something, that kinyan, each person's kinyan contradicts the other person's kinyan. No, each person could be kind of for him and his friend. So each one somehow will get there. They're both kind of in half. We're going to skip the first place because it's kind of like first place is never Sechta. Why is this over here? Why is it not there? Second place is one of the most famous places, and we'll go dive straight into the Yachloiku. So the Gemara says, two people holding on to a talis. They both find this talis. What do? You split it. Tema. Whereas tema always means like a stark kasha. The mai shno ma'id arabo. Why is it different to the case of a ship? The Amakol Dalim Gova. What's the case of a ship? Because the Gemara says that the two people are fighting over this ship. One, they come to basin, one guy says, this is my ship, the other guy says, this is my ship. Neither of them have a chazak on the ship, right? So what's the din over there? The Gemara says, Kol Dalim Gova. As we said before, that's the din that each person, they fight over the ship, they punch each other out, they bring rayas, they bring aidim. Whoever has the best case, he wins. Now, those basin kind of says, we're not getting involved. That's what Kol Dalim Gova. Let the best man win. We're not getting involved. You're both coming. Neither of you are muhsuk. What do we have to get involved for? Whoever wins, wins. So why don't we say here Kol Dalim Gova? So l'chayra, Taisus Kasha isn't that Kol Dalim Gova is a better psak. Taisus Kasha is that why is it different? Why there are you saying my shno? Why there do you say Kol Dalim? Why don't we say Yachloikum there? Why here do you say Yachloikum Kol Dalim Gova? It's not like this is better than that. There's no preference.
What is Kol Dalim Gova? Does that mean that they
fight it out?
Now, it's basically saying we're not getting involved. Let the best man win.
Rayas.
Some it's a machlekes nushaim. Some say
meaning if you take it to
Rayas
the boat and then you Raya once that happens, meaning they're not holding the boat.
so. I don't think getting a chazaka off is going to help. That's what the Gemara talking about. That. If the guy says, "Oh, you grabbed it, you became muhsuk," it's not going to help. You know why you're muhsuk. You're not muhsuk because ain't no play for say. You know what's the chazaka we said. We know how it got into your hands because you just grabbed it. That's already not once there's a suffix in base, we're going to say, oh, now you get muhsuk, it's yours.
He's mamish protecting it. Could he's fighting him like, don't get on my boat.
They fight each other. Some say physically, some say they just try. It means they have to both try and bring rayas, whatever rayas they can.
Is that case also when they jumped on the boat at the same second? Because
No.
But now they're in base, they're not on the boat.
Ship in the boat. There's no chazaka, it doesn't matter. We're not grabbing onto the
Because
boat.
they're in Basin now, they're not on the boat. That's the whole point. The boat's in the harbor.
you see from there that any place where there's no muhzak is called around the bar.
Oh, but the question is why?
Right,
That's
so
the
then
stage
also
asking.
here should be.
Right. So what's the question? Here should be called out in bar, there should be a chleikum.
So the Chaim Taisus is mashma. He doesn't say what's better. He says mashno. What's the difference? You know, manishton al. Why is it different here and there? What's going on? What's the difference? I think we'll take a look. I printed on these pages the Rosh. It's very important to see the Rosh. You can pass this out. I want to see the Rosh in the back of that. There's a Rosh and a Taisus Rosh. They're both saying similar things. I printed both. I don't know why. So let's see Taisus' answer. Yesh Leimar. Why do we not say Kol Dalim Gova over here? Yesh Leimar. The Ochzin shiny. In the ship, they're not holding on to anything. They haven't got a chiz on the ship. But here, they're holding on to the talis. The choshev ki'ilu, we look at it as if kol echad yeshla bevadai achetzi. Each person definitely owns half the talis. The Anan Sahadi means it's like an Eidim. It's almost like there's Eidim, the mind of us Eidim. When you're holding on to something, it's like there's Eidim that says it's yours. So here, we look at it like each person's holding on to half the talis. It's Eidim that you own half. Therefore, you can't say Kol Dalim Gova. Therefore, you're going to say here Yachloiku. Now, I want to see the Taisus before we go further in here, because we should keep this fresh in our minds. You can see the whole Taisus, then we'll forget what they said in the beginning. Let's see the Taisus of Rosh, because the question is what does the Anan Sahadi do? What's the point of the Anan Sahadi? Is that creating a situation where we don't want this guy to we don't want to pass in Kol Dalim Gova, because you don't do that when someone holds on to it? Or is it just that since it's Bavada yours, so you do Yachloiku? That's what it looks like Taisus is saying. Taisus looks saying is that it's a chazaka. We know it's yours, so why are we going to Kol Dalim Gova? It's yours. You get to keep it.
So then there's less risk. Kol Dalim Gova, one guy could take it all. If there's an Anan Sahadi, it doesn't make sense for one guy to take it all. They both provide have something.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's see Taisus of Rosh. It's the small one on the one with the not the big one, the small one. Okay? The Yachloiku. Everyone got it? Vim Taima. Yeah, we will go to him time. V'amai lo yaminan kol dal gova. Tais Rosh has the same kasha, but it's slightly different. Notice the difference. Tais Rosh starts with a different kasha. Why don't we say kol dal gova? It doesn't say Mashno like Taisus. Tais Rosh says, why don't we do kol dal gova like over there? Much better. There's something better with kol dal gova, like, right? Yeah. Amai lo yaminan kol dal gova. Kumai gabe araba. Echeskas about it. What's wrong with that psak? Each one says it's mine. So in those cases, if I come and say it's my dad's talis, you say it's my dad's talis, it can't be both of your dad's talis. You don't have half the same dad. There's no way to split it. Right? It's one of yours. In those cases, the Gemara says, Kol Dal Gava. We pass it Kol Dal Gava. So why don't we do that here? Rabbeinu Chanal Terence.
Does that mean they beat each other up?
Yeah. And some
Fight
sure fight for it. It literally means you wonder whether it's the Muslim council let the best man win. That's what.
Whoever's really is will fight harder.
There's a preference for a physical fight than a shavua.
I think we're going to see the Rosh. He's going to explain.
Some action.
The Rosh is going to explain why he likes the psak of Kol
What
Dal
about the
Gava.
Yisroel to hit people?
You're allowed to hit someone if he's trying to steal from you.
To do what?
You're allowed to hit someone if he's trying to steal from you. Right? Before Gemara. If you can't go to Beis Din, it says if you're going to the well, someone's going to take your turn until you go to Beis Din, you've already lost your turn. You can hit him. You're not going to lose your turn and go to Beis Din, then you've lost whatever it is.
Very nice.
Rabbeinu Chanal Terence. Sorry, I didn't know what was the fault.
No, he's saying why are you allowed to hit someone?
Why?
No, he's the Bava Machtaris.
Yeah.
Ashken Narva.
Yeah. Rabbeinu Chanal Terence. So the Terence's kasha is why don't we say here Kol Dal Gava? That's the kasha. His kasha isn't why don't we say there Yachleiku. There I understand why you don't say Yachleiku in Bayarab by the ship. The question is here, why don't you say Kol Dal Gava? But there's Ben Chananel, the Shani Hacha. The Shnayim boim lefneinu muchzokim b'kol. They both are muchzok in half a talis. V'chol davar she'adam muchzok b'ay. Yesh lanu lachshav kilu hu sheloi. When someone's holding on to something, he's muchzok. What does it mean someone's muchzok? We assume it's his. Beis Din assumes that this is his guy's. Kedaminu gabe nachsa the Rababa. That's what Gemara says in nachsa the Rababa. Okay, it's a case that's the Rabba. I don't want to get into it, but that's a case where the guy whispered and he said that you're right, the guy I stole it, that I stole it. He was basically it was mine that he grabbed it. He said it was mine. Okay, Beis Din. So what's the din? When we know that someone's stealing here from someone else, it's muchzak. Beis Din muchuyavim limchais. What's the job of Beis Din? Beis Din's job is to make sure that Reuben is not going to steal from Shimon. Beis Din's whole tafkid is to make sure that people are robbing each other. So when we know one of them is muchzak, we can't say Kol Dal Gava. Kol Dal Gava means one guy's going to walk out with the whole talis. But when he's muchzak, so let's finish reading.
What's the logic of that? It's the easiest thing in the world to just pick up somebody else's cell phone. You see something on the table, you pick it up. So now it's mine. So that's the easiest thing in the world to pick it up.
The Gemara talks about cases about fraud items which have tendency to roam around. Like guys, it's a sheep. If you hold on to a sheep and the guy says it's mine, you can't say no, it's mine. It's to look at my rishos. No, because we know sheep walk around. So the whole point is that the chazak that you have it is a proof. Because we're not going to assume he went into his pen in the middle of the night and stole his sheep. Right? So if you're holding on to a sheep, we'll assume it's yours. But taka, if it's something that people lend out, then the fact that you have it doesn't mean anything. For example, karka, that's cheskas abati, the whole parent cheskas abati. If you can't come into the house and say, it's my house, I'm here, get out of here. But the fact that you owned it for 25,000 years, it's irrelevant. Because the point is that people rent out their homes. People rent out their karka. So holding on to it means nothing in that case. So to create the chazaka in that case, you need 3 years, day and night, payments, the whole thing. Right?
Today you have deposit.
Huh?
Today you hold the deposit.
Today they do land, they register in the land registry and all this business, right? But it's it's ancient masechta, it's thousands of years old. How do you get a chazaka in a karka? So based on Chaim limchas the kol sheba ligzim mechaver, right? Hilch on a tzrichim nifsaka din sheachleiku. In the case of the talis, you can't say kol don gavar because both of them are vadai holding half. And if you say kol don gavar, basically going to sit there watching one guy punching the other guy and grabbing his half. Basically, can't let someone steal from someone else. Avecha goes with Chaveiro, must be other. Aval Araba, the Metzia, the Mancha Ara, the Chaim Zayim Shalvei Zayim Shalvei. Say, Einan Limchas the Kol Balikach V'Chazaka. In the case of the ship, where neither of them are muchzak in it, so basically isn't muchzak to stop someone grabbing from the other person because neither of them own it, neither of them are muchzak in it. So therefore, basically, doesn't have a din to say, "Oh wait, don't steal from him." It's not his. He's not muchzak in it. Therefore, I'll say in that case called an gava. So the whole idea of called an gava, the Rosh, we like to say called an gava. That's a better option. That's what Taisus Rosh Kash.
Why is it?
Why don't we say called? We're going to see in a second. We'll finish one more line. Hilkach, ein anu mishtadel lifsek adin b'nei nachleiku, shem anisel lacha vehem, shalekedin. Elo emim lehem, mi shetiskaber yodoi b'rayas u'b'koyach yiska. We say the whole din of Kol Dam Gova is whoever's stronger will win. The strength in Alzeh we relies on the fact that shadin imot. So shemi shadin imot karav hu lavi rayas. The person who actually is the rightful owner, he will win. So based on the Saimach on that fact, we don't know whose it is. We're going to be Saimach, there's a Umdana, there's the Raya, it's Rive, whatever you want to say. Basically says, you know what, you can assume that the rightful owner will win. So we're going to step back and we say, we're not getting involved. The person who it really belongs to, he's got like some type of righteous vindication. What's the word?
Indignation.
He's not going to let someone rob him, so he's going to fight with everything he has. More than the other guy's going to be Meister Nefesh to steal. People are Meister Nefesh to steal, but you're more Meister Nefesh to keep what's yours. Interesting aside.
Yeah.
Psychology. It's
Would you agree with that psychologically?
loss aversion is stronger than gain.
What?
A dollar lost is worse
Beautiful.
than
Go ahead.
gain.
Beautiful.
Physically, nothing.
That's why they ask criminals when they mock the car.
Physically, that makes it much.
Yeah.
I think because we don't know
Most of the criminals, like 80%.
we don't know who he belongs to.
Right. Why do you do it?
You got caught.
Right. So
Then he's
Right,
going to
Talmud.
do the same thing.
one Chazaka guy and a car guy, he's 2 years ago, another thing that we don't know.
One's a criminal, one's a
That's
criminal.
an Italyan, we don't know who's there. Yes, Chazak.
And for another reason, Taisus Rosh has a few reasons of it.
One take it from me, this last let me give you one.
Right, Shayima, ma better Shem said nafshi v'ayoyim, v'ayoyim l'mocha yovi rai. It's in Yodi. The God of the city, well, I'm going to waste my time, all my effort to try and steal from this guy, and tomorrow he's going to bring a raya, and he'll take it from me. And he doesn't throw this in there, but I'm thinking he's also going to look like a God. Everyone will know this guy's a crook. He tried to rob this guy, right? So he's got like 3 reasons here why Kol Dalam Gover is a nice psak. Why that's like a lechatchila. That's what Basin likes to do.
Also because they don't have the burden and the onus of giving a psak and living without giving your own psak. That's
Because Beis Din is
Basically, it's like not that they're weak, but they're Yerushalayim. They don't want to throw down psak all the time. They want people.
Well, it's like-
It sounds like you're saying the first reason, but like a bit of a twist. The first reason is that if Basin's job is to stop someone stealing from someone else, here Basin doesn't see anyone stealing from anyone else. We don't know who's muhtar, so no one. Basin doesn't have a function here. We don't know who's muhtar. We don't know who's stealing. So step out of it. We're not getting involved.
It's always like that. You ever go to Din Torah? They
We
always
don't-
tell you,
we don't get
"Shara."
involved.
They always say,
Well, that's
"Shara."
exactly not what we're saying here. Now you know why they're wrong. You're not allowed to do that.
That's because of politics.
Probably.
So l'chayra Taisus. Let's go back to Taisus. So Taisus l'chayra has a whole different shot, right? Taisus
The Svara.
hold this as far.
Right.
Why?
No, but I'm saying because Mashman thinks he also Mashman the Kol Dalam Gover is better. Why?
Oh, so Taisus also about to call them all that. But when you have Taisus, you don't call them Gova.
Exactly. But it's from a different Svara. So he says, I'm on Saturday, I don't know.
Other side of the mic outside of the So, right. So l'chayr and Taisus also you have to say the maskana. The kasha is that what's the difference? L'chayr and Taisus, he doesn't see that either of them are better. L'chayr and Taisus' teretz is that really called Dalan Gova is a better psak. He agrees with Taisus Rosh, even though he doesn't say any of the reasons Taisus Rosh brings. He doesn't bring any of those svaras. Called Dalan Gova is a better psak. Rakma. If you have Ochzin, you can't say called Dalan Gova. You're stuck. You can't do called Dalan Gova. So it could be, this is how some will understand. The Lefi the Rosh, the Ochzin. I stopped because I had to think. The Lefi the Rosh, the Ochzin is the reason why you can't say Kol Dalan Gova. Right? We're not going to let him steal from someone else. When we know someone's mutzuk, we're not going to give him psak Kol Dalan Gova and let Reuven steal from Shimon. But Lefi Taisus doesn't say that. Taisus doesn't say because of Ochzin you can't say Kol Dalan Gova. It looks like Taisus is saying that because he's a mutzuk, there's a reason, an active reason to say Yachloiku. I'm muchzik enough, therefore I should be Yachloiku. Not I'm muchzik, therefore you shouldn't say Kol Dalan Gova. So in other words, there's a machlekes going on fundamentally in Taisus and the Rosh. What does the Ochzin achieve? According to the Taisus and Rosh, what does Ochzin mean? Ochzin means you can't say Kol Dalan Gova. It's a reason why not to do.
It's like a semi-Kenyan. It's like Nikolai.
It's a semi-Kenyan, and therefore we can't do Kol Dalan Gova. That's an akudah.
Right.
The Kenyan means the Kol Dalan Gova is a bad psak.
But the ship, you don't make a Kenyan, I make a new ship. It's a Mashiach, something like that, okay? Just because you're on a ship doesn't mean you're kind of.
Right, so since you can't be kind of it, we're going to do Kol Dalan Gova. But here,
No, it's because I thought we said before that when you're machzik, it could be actually both on half, you both thought at the same time, you both pick up at the same time. And Kol Dalan Gova, for sure one guy's going to win. Whereas, and you can't split it. You can't lachleiku with Kol Dalan Gova, so it's not necessarily the right thing. If two people are machzik, right?
come again?
No. If two people are machzik, it
Yeah.
could really be that they both own half.
Exactly.
And Kol Dalan Gova makes that, you can't have that outcome.
That's by Kol Dalan Gova.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it could be, there's no din, you're saying that it might not be true. There's no din that it has to be true. There's just a din that it has to be possible to be true. Yichayli Yisrael means
Right.
it could possibly be, in this scenario, that's the case. Basin isn't doing a vadai avla. Basin is not robbing a guy's senses for sure.
What about
It could be they're wrong.
What about possession 9/10 of the law?
Right, that's chazaka.
That's chazaka. That's what exactly, that's
Yeah,
what we're
they're
saying,
both
that's what
possessive.
chazaka is.
He got two people.
So but Lefi Taisvus, the fact that each one owns vadai half, that doesn't mean that I can't do Kol Dalan Gova. That's not what Tais is saying.
It means I must do
It
Yachloiku.
means you've got to do a chayku, exactly. That's the reason why you got to do a chayku. So if you do Rosh, it's just the reason why you can't do Kol Dalan Gova. But if you taste it's the reason why you got to do a chayku.
This makes more sense with one says kulu shuli, one says chetzi shuli. Because then for sure the guy that owns the whole thing is going to fight more, because he owns the whole thing. The guy that says he owns half, he's going to fight less. He's fighting for half as much value. But then for sure it's not going to be the emes if we're saying that he should get a quarter.
Yeah. I think Tachlis, the svara that each one's going to fight. Doesn't matter if you're on half, you're on the whole. You're going to fight the same. That svara implies the same.
Hear that.
Tosfos also uses much more strong language.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you mean?
He says Anan Tzadeh, which the Rosh doesn't say. And he
yeah.
says, I don't think the Rosh says Bevadai.
Right, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't say Bevadai, he says Muchzokim.
Yeah, they're muchzok.
Yishon Nachshak Kilu Hu Shalai. He doesn't say Badai Hu Shalai.
Oh. So Tais is saying is bevadai his you got to do yachleiku.
Why has to be?
Beautiful. The thing is bevadai his you have to do yachleiku. And therefore Kol Dalan Gova is a second is not as good
Bad,
as
it's
this.
a bad option.
He doesn't even say it's a bad option. He doesn't say it could be Kol Dalan Gova is also a nice option, but here you got a much better option. You know each one bevadai owns half, so do a yachleiku. Why should you do a Kol Dalan Gova? If you the Rosh, it's something else. Kol Dalan Gova is always the better psak, but you can't do it here because you're going to let Reuven steal from Shimon.
Saying according to the thesis, Kol Dalan Gova is not a better psak.
Over here.
It's not muchach, it's a better psak. Yeah.
Oh, in general?
In general. Let's say there's no muchzuk. When there's a muchzuk, you'll say it's a better
Depends on the
psak.
case.
When there's no muchzak, we say, what's better, kol dal gvar or yechleiku?
That's the kasha we're going to see. What do you do when there's a muksa?
Tosfos' whole thing is here because of his.
No, here because you have a muchzak for sure.
So mashma in general.
So why in general you do kol dal gvar?
Because it sounds like to do yachlok you need a special circumstance. Mashma that when there's a regular case, you don't do yachlok.
So it means he's also masking the kol dal gvar is a better thing. A better thing.
Yeah.
There's obviously some preference to do kol dal, and they just don't do it when they can't do it, like when there's mufsakin. Otherwise, they'd much rather just do kol dal. Just they can't.
Even
do
if
it.
he
When there's a
does.
mufsak.
Let's see the rush for sure. But even if he does, as you say.
Even if he does, like, why should we give up kol dal? This is a fantastic answer to all our problems. Kol dal. Oh, we can't do it. Why can't we do it? That's his
Going
question.
to base it, no?
What's it better than
No.
Shua?
Yeah, Rayas.
Talui, he said it's
Why is called
Right.
the
So
Some
on
people
that side.
say-
Then you
Sad,
can,
yeah, but if it's physical, so not going to base. You went to base, it tells you
What's
sort it
better
out
than
yourself.
Shua?
so on that side it's Rayas, you go back to base it.
Could be they're beating each other up for nothing.
One of them is definitely wrong.
But it could be the guy's wrong is stronger and he'll beat up the other guy.
No, but Shua.
Oh, both of them are just
One of them
so
lies.
one is definitely the right.
You can't make one of them lie.
That's why Shua's not an easy one.
Interesting, Rabbeinu Tam has a slightly different lotion in Bava Gemara there with the ship. Asks the same kasha, places the same kasha. And Rabbeinu Tam throws a different teretz in. Rabbeinu Tam has a different nusach slightly. That question is who owns what in the talis now? What do we see? What does Basin see? So according to Rabbeinu Tam over there, Basin doesn't see that each one is bavadei chetzi in the talis. You have this off, I have this off. Rabbeinu Tam says each one owns the whole talis. We look at it, each one's muhskin the whole thing. That's how Rabbeinu Tam understands.
They're shutfin, basically.
Yeah, their partnership. If they both picked up
What's
the
the
talis the same.
nafkamina?
Oh, what's enough commitment? So enough commitment is going to be. Hold on.
No, the
no, no.
when there's then how does the clerk help?
Question is like
Any
this.
partnership.
This is the question. When you come
Oh,
into
you don't have
basic,
on
big nafkamina halacha, by the way. There's interesting cases in later place. Do you actually need a din, a psak? Does Basin have to paskin? Let's say I come into Basin and I say that's my pair of glasses, right? Best has to paskin know it says. Oh, the din is how much right. Basin doesn't even have to paskin it. It's automatic. Basin doesn't have a psak. It says. Does Basin have to give a psak or not? If each one bavadei owns half, so Basin doesn't have to paskin. Each one has half, and that's how I say I'm not going to Mariah. Then Chaim you to make a shua, then they're bothered to make sure people don't grab on people's items. But if each one comes in, they're holding the whole thing. So Bezdin has to give a psak. I just had a case, crazy cases enough for minute, for example, I want everyone to watch that, so we're wrapping up now. There's a case where a woman found something, and then Machlekes who found it first, and then she said, you know what? They told her she has to swear. Take a shua. She said, I'm not swearing. You know what? I didn't find it first. Give it to us. So I think it was Gordon who said that. Metzia, when she finds something, it goes automatically to her husband. The reason why when someone's maida, it does badi kame'enin on me. When you maida, it's like 100 so it's not my, if you maida, you lose. There's no question. But here, she's being maida now, but it's her husband, it was her husband's. Can she now go on his head and say, I found the second? Now what's enough? It's going to make enough minute. If Besin has to paskin, the Besin doesn't have to paskin.
So there's no women in the picture.
Okay, everybody, so we'll wrap it up. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for coming to our website.
Thanks so much for coming to